Okay. Hans van den Born. I'm 52 years old, living in Thailand for 17 years, mostly background in the travel industry, meaning I came to Thailand first time when I was working for an airline in the Netherlands, traveling a lot to this part of the world. Then I decided to find, let's say, a position in the travel industry here in this country with my background, hotel management. It was not so difficult because there's a lot of hospitality in hotels here. So that was my first occupation. Then after traveling industry with my last large company, which was called DKSH or Dtam Travel in Thailand, I worked there for about 6 years, and that's already 6, 7 years ago. And 7 years ago, I started working for this organization. We are not a company, but we are an association. It's a membership-driven association, the Netherlands Thai Chamber of Commerce. Our office is inside the Dutch Embassy here in Bangkok, and what we do is we try to help our members, the companies who are working here in Thailand, the companies who want to set up business, want to export into Thailand, and who want to be successful here. And doing business in this part of the world is not always easy. That's where we can help them. And we have a large network of supporting companies who can then support our members if they face any issues from legal perspective, from a license perspective. And being in the embassy office helps us also to connect with the Thai government agencies, when sometimes you need to have help from the Thai government. So it's a nice mix to have, and enjoying it very much. As I mentioned previously, from my background, hotel management, when you want to be in one of the countries with the highest level of hospitality and tourism, then I guess Thailand is on the short list of maybe 2 or 3 countries around the world. And luck or share luck through the airline I worked with, which was China Airlines. And at that time, it was flying Amsterdam, Bangkok, Taipei, the headquarters in Taiwan. So I was traveling a lot for my business and private life also in this country. So I started to build up a friends network, business network. And that sort of gave me the opening to apply for jobs here in this country. So from my interest from hotel management into education, into hospitality, into starting here. And that is already, like I said, 17 years ago. If somebody registers a company when there's a Dutch ownership, we can find out through databases. So we have a fair database from the Thai government where you, as a registry of the company, we can see how much ownership of the Dutch are there. Most of our members refer us to other members. When a company is trying to find information about this country, they normally go to the embassy or they go to a local chamber of commerce. So it's an easy thing for us to be active in, let's say, the social media. So we are quite well found on internet, but also on YouTube and other, let's say, social media channels, LinkedIn. So when there's an interest in doing business with this country from a Dutch perspective, people know where to find us. And then when they are in our web, so to say, then it's an easier way for me to also make them you say client, I call them members. And what we do, we try to build a community. So it's not just have a client business relationship, but really building a community. Helping fellow entrepreneurs. It's indeed providing information. It's indeed connecting people with, let's say, all databases or experience driven. And I think that's the power of our community. And by helping companies, not just by sharing information on the internet and websites, but also to connect them with, let's say, fellow entrepreneurs who have been here active for 20, 30 years, who can share the ups and downs, who can share the pitfalls. Challenges, I think the cultural differences is, of course, always something to look into and take into account. If people think they can come here by just visiting a few times and be very successful, that's probably not the right way forward. You really need to invest time in this country. You need to, I think, invest time in the culture, in the background of doing business. You need to really gain a lot of knowledge, build on your network. Relationships are very important. We always have a good selection criteria. If you set the bar as you want, if you communicate the criteria right, then you also attract the right audience. And I was very pleased to see the dynamic and also the eagerness and the motivation of my colleagues in my team, in the previous companies, in the current company. I'm quite pleased with, let's say, my Thai colleagues in various companies and the current association. I'm very eager. We try also always to look for some international background, because that's helpful. Because if you have a little bit of international background, meaning you might have been studying abroad or you might have worked for a foreign company, you do have a bit of a different view of the world than if you are focusing only on, let's say, only Thai companies or Thai education systems. I think that makes us easy, let's say, to find qualified staff who really want to help the organizations they work for. Also, you need to find out things. If you would know everything in advance, then you probably will not. It's not. In my life, I also like to take some challenges, right? And you learn across the way. The fact that I probably have this Thai, Netherlands, I was in airline industry, travel industry, back and forth, helped me making a smoother transition. And I think that process took about maybe 10 years. That process helped me in finding an easier transition, smoother transition from one country into another. So I don't think I'm an average, let's say, expat who from one moment, the Netherlands, next month I will be working in another country. For me, it was a much easier, smoother transition. And therefore, I was not really in a position that, I wasn't expecting this, or I was surprised to hear that. I saw in those years of, let's say, preparation, I could position myself. I could also get used to and adapt myself. And does it mean that everything is exactly how I expected? No, but if you stay in one country, also you'll find out sometimes things are not the same. So if you open your mind, if you're willing to learn, and then everything is possible. And I also was helped by my community members a lot, because like I said, it's the experience of people who've done this before who also give you the insights. That is also my strong message. If you want to be successful, learn from your peers, learn from people who have done this before. They could be in the same sector, they could be from a different company, but they have the same experience. And most of the people outside of the Netherlands want to help you, sharing knowledge to prevent you from, let's say, potential failures. You think this is the country you want to be active in, if you think Thailand is the country you want to be prosperous, dedicate time. Make sure that you come here and establish a network and ask questions to, let's say, fellow community members. Learn by listening, and by learning also about the culture and about the differences in doing business here. So dedicate time, invest time, build your network, and learn and listen from fellow entrepreneurs. I think that's the strongest message. And the easiest way is joining any chambers of commerce, because that's where you find your, let's say, your input. That's where you find companies and entrepreneurs who have done this before. Go for it, because like I said, it's not easy, but many has done it before, and you will be finding your way eventually as well, if you make use of the networks we all can provide. If you're open-minded, if you're willing to learn, if you have a product or a service which is unique, then you'll find your customer base. The top 5 favorite things. I think Thailand is called the country for free, right? The freedom we experience to move around. There's no secret that we have great beaches and great, let's say, leisure destinations. You can have great service for a low price. You can have fantastic food, for a low price. You can have most of the time fantastic weather compared to, let's say, my country.